Hey everyone, I'm here again with David Wright. David is a personal trainer at in Carson City. If you're while you're watching this, it's probably Parkway Athletic Club now. So thanks for being with us, David.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
All right, we're going to talk about how to get results, and we were kind of joking before we turned this on. How to get results when you're exercising? Well, you have to be persistent. You have to stick with it, but to stick with it, you got to get results, right? Or why
Oh,
would
yeah.
you stick with something that's not working? So, what are your first thoughts on how to get results with exercise? There's a lot of variables here, and there's a lot of ways to go with this discussion. So, what do you think, just to start?
Yeah, so this is probably one of the most broad topics that you can speak because you're right, there's a lot of different avenues that you can go. But for me, as far as the first part of this is getting the results. So that's going to keep you coming back to the gym or whatever exercise you're doing um, to get more results. But how do you get those initial results to begin with? One of the things that I think is the most important is to set a realistic expectation for what those results are going to be. So what I mean by that is perfect example is when I train, clients here, and we go over what are your goals, why are you here, what motivated you to sign up for the gym, right? And a lot of times it's 99% probably the time is I want to lose body fat and I want to gain muscle in XYZ area, right? So that's a great goal to have. Now I dig a little bit deeper as we go through the workout and I go through my evaluation process to kind of understand. We do our STIKU measurement here at the gym as part of that introductory session. So
Tell people what that is.
yeah, so the STIKU is a 3D body scan. So it's going to give us, a really cool 3D image of whomever this client is, but also with that 3D image, we get all of the body measurements. So not only body fat, weight, those types of things, but also actual circumference measurements. So it's a really good base from the moment I meet that person and we go through this introductory session. I've got all of their measurements. So then as they become a client and we're doing training together, we can keep measuring them and we can track that progress, you know, at a certain, interval. So that's going to help them understand what that progress is. So that's one way to really understand. Now, you're not going to see a difference in 2 weeks per se, or something like that. And that's kind of the expectation. So when I say set realistic expectations for yourself, or, if you're working with a trainer, you know, come up with expectations and goals that are realistic, because one of the things that is not realistic is, uh, again, a whole nother video topic on this, but just briefly, is some of those things you see online where, six pack abs in 30 days and all these other things, right? All these gimmicks. Realistic expectations are going to be a very specific goal for you that could be different than what Steve's goal or my goal is when I'm at the gym. Something realistic that you can meet that goal, and then at that point, set another one and then do the same thing and repeat. Because what we don't want to say is, well, I want to go from 30% body fat to 15 in a month, because number one, that's not going to happen. I don't care what kind of enhancement drugs you're on. I don't care how much cardio you do, that's not going to happen. So that would be an example, an extreme example, but that's an example of an unrealistic expectation. And a lot of times people will have those because there is so much misinformation on the internet and other places, friends, etc. So first step is, in order to get the results, to be motivated to get more results, you have to get those first ones. And that motivation needs to be step one, come into the gym or any fitness place or group or whatever you want to do. But step two is, why are you going there? What's your goal? Set something realistic.
And I would add, it's really important, or it really helps if you get a return on your investment. If you invest something in something financially and you don't get a return on it, you're not going to invest in that. The
Right.
same thing goes with your health, with your fitness, and your body. So you have to get a return on your investment. The investment is the effort put into getting healthier, eating right, and exercising. Now, your age matters. to get a return on your investment is different than if you're 20 compared to if you're 70.
Oh yeah.
So the first thing is your investment has to be the right amount. What do I mean by that? I mean, you can't do too much, but you want to make sure you do enough. So your intensity level really matters. What is your intensity level? Meaning, how hard are you exercising and how many times a week and how long? Those things matter. Now you want to match that up with your recovery and your diet. When you do that, you're going to start to get results, and you'll get results quickly, especially if you're a beginner. Find a gym, everybody. You get results. Or, find a way to exercise if you're not going to go to a gym. So when you do it right out of the gate for your body, you're going to get those results. That's going to motivate you because you're seeing a return on your investment. And when you're motivated, that's going to help you continue to now get in better shape, increase your intensity level a little bit, increase the time you're in the gym, which your body will be able to handle because you're conditioned better, no matter what age you are. So that's kind of the things that you need to focus on. A coach helps. You don't have to have a coach. I mean, you can get a lot of information online, but that's something that's really important.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that too. So there's a lot that that a lot of people just don't know, or it's kind of overwhelming sometimes because there is so much information and dissecting. What should I do? What shouldn't I do? How do I start? And like I said, the first step is what you decide that you're going to make a change for yourself, and that's what that looks like is going to be different for you than what it is for me or Steve or somebody else in the gym. And so you just need to do what's going to be good for you. But again, in order to have that motivation to continue, yeah, you need to invest the time. You need to invest, hey, I'm going to not have Burger King every night. And, these different things need to change, not just, your activity level is one thing. You absolutely have to, increase that, so that whether it's in the gym or some other form, but you have to increase that activity. You have to get yourself moving. And, variety is always good. That's why, for gyms like our club here, there's a lot of different things that you can do. But, some people maybe aren't ready for the gym, and that's okay too. But you need to find something that gets your activity up because you need to have, start that process because you can't finish something that you don't start. But you certainly can finish it when you do start it. And what I mean by that is you'll be able to get to your goals and surpass them, but you just have to, like you said, do that investment in yourself, the time, the effort, everything that it takes, because that's when you're going to see the change. If maybe we start working out a little bit, but we still eat, highly processed, super processed foods, and that's the only thing we eat, you're probably not going to see much results. And you're going to say, well, why am I paying for this gym or this trainer or this, whatever? And you might not, continue with that. So you do have to go with, on the diet side, what can I change? If it's a budgetary thing, you don't have a lot of budget for certain types of foods. There's plenty of foods out there that you can eat that are much healthier than the processed ones that you might be eating. You'd be surprised. I mean, everything's a little expensive right now. I get it, but the cheaper, like ultra processed foods are really not that cheap when you look at, they give you nothing. And then they also cause health problems later down the road. So they're really not cheap at all. So you really have to look at what are you investing in? That's the other part of the investment is what am I buying from the grocery store? And that's a whole nother video. But all of these things combined are really, really simple. Eat better, eat healthier, put in the work. All of these are investments into your health.
Yeah. And eat whole foods. Now, I would add to that, if you're a beginner, don't do too much.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do too much, you're going to discourage yourself. You might be all gung-ho. Here, your brain is, but your body's not if you're a beginner. So start slow. Don't do too much because you're going to discourage yourself. You're going to discourage your body, and it's not going to be fun. So keep that in mind. I just want to say, the gym is so cool. You're going to love this. there was one of our new trainers was up in the functional area at the gym you're at, and he was training a couple older people. They were, I would guess, probably in their early 80s. But they could move fairly well. I mean, not perfectly, but you could tell they were just starting. And they kind of had matching clothes on. And he was really encouraging them. And as he's encouraging them, they were high-fiving each other. And it looked like probably a husband and wife. They were high-fiving each other. They were hugging each other. Every time they met one of the objectives their coach gave them. So he'd give them an objective. They would accomplish it. They're high-fiving. They're hugging. I mean, I just had to stop and watch. It was just really cool. But that's the stuff that you see in the gym. And also, that's how you get results. And that's how you stay in the gym, by having that positive husband or wife or workout partner and coach. And I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it's those types of things that are also, a really good motivator to be here, to stay here, and to continue towards those goals, is to have fun with it too. And like you said, don't do too much. I can say that I was guilty of that when I first started, because I didn't really know what I needed to do, how much I should be doing. But it runs out real quick, your motivation, if you are trying to overdo everything as if you were, say, an advanced, lifter, or, someone who's been in the gym for a long time like you or I. If you're a beginner, don't try to do too much, because like you said, your brain is like, yeah, let's go for everything. Well, let's put everything into fewer things, but get really good at those, and then kind of expand your horizon, so to speak, as far as what you're doing and the workouts you might be doing, because your body needs that time to kind of work up to that. Your brain's like ready to go. Your body maybe not so much. So you don't want to wear out one and then the other starts kind of going down a little bit, because now our body hurts or whatever. We're not able to do the certain things we thought we could just run in and go do. So just set it realistically. You know what? You're going to get there. You just have to stay committed to it. And it doesn't have to be a 7-day-a-week lifestyle as far as coming into a gym or whatnot. But, it has to be consistent day to day, that you're not going to, be really motivated for 3 days and the other 4 we're going to have, Cheesecake Factory and not work out. You have to make a total change.
Yeah. Okay, so David, if people want to follow you on social media, they want to watch what you're doing with your competitions and all that stuff, or just see what you're doing, how do they follow you on social media?
So they can find me on Instagram at davidwright_fitness for my fitness posts, updates on shows, things like that, and then at Wright Fitness Training for personal training page.
And you guys put comments in the comment section. Tell us what your experience is just starting an exercise program, and we would love to hear how you've got results and what you did. And that will also help other people watching this. So thanks for being here, David.
Thanks, Steve.